Welcome, Rachel, to the lobby.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So fun to have you. I adore the GLS, which is what we're going to sometimes call it. It kind of goes by both, Global Leadership Summit or GLS.
Yes.
But I adore this event. And so I'm excited to have you here, talking about it, our online community. Some of you have been in attendance. Some of you have never heard about it. And so this is really a great opportunity to chit chat about it. So let's just start at the beginning. What is GLS and who is it for?
Great question. The Global Leadership Summit, that we call GLS for short, is, as the name implies, it is a leadership conference where you learn great leadership skills and how to handle different things in organizations and all of that. However, I would like to clarify that leadership, you might think, is about position or a bold personality, but it's really not. It's about having influence. Yes. And so this conference is absolutely for everybody. If you are anybody and you're looking around and you have people in your life, that's what this conference is about. It's going to help you do better with all of those people around you.
Yes, so good. Now, how did you become involved in your position with, publicizing it and getting excited about it?
Ironically, being a more introverted person and definitely not considering myself a leader person at all, I was invited by somebody in children's ministry, which is where I was serving at the time, like 5 years ago, and it wouldn't be something that I would naturally go to on my own. I, like many of you, probably hear leadership and think, yeah, that's not me. But I went because I was invited, and I have been going ever since. It was amazing, and some people at our church started being willing to host it here, which I think is so amazing, because usually you have to go very far away for great quality conferences or any type of help for these types of things, and to have it here in our hometown is really, really special. So.
Yeah. So I feel like you kind of touched base on this a little bit, but I want to go a little deeper. So what can people expect when they come to this event, and really, why do we not want to miss it?
Great. The biggest thing that I think you can expect are not just to walk away with the technical skills on how to handle large leadership organizations, but also just some interpersonal soft skills. How do we have influence with the people around us? How do we communicate better with people, influence people in a way that might be just being at home with your kids or coaching a little league team? It doesn't have to be a larger than life strategy. In fact, I was just talking to someone the other day, and she was talking about how one of the sessions really was eye-opening for her, that how you handle working with different generations, baby boomers, millennials, and that has really opened some doors for her in her business to be able to communicate and reach out to people in a way that's way more effective. So you can expect just even basic things like that to help you with parenting, business, whatever.
Yeah, awesome. I love hearing those little stories. It just fascinates me because everyone will get something different from this, but it is for everybody, and you hit on that, so that's wonderful. So there are, of course, the logistics and the details. We need to know what day on our calendar do we need to clear out for this event. How do we register? Great. Tell us how to do it.
So the event is August 5th and 6th. You can probably most easily register on the Foothills website under Getting Connected. There are special pricing available for military, teachers, if you're attending Foothills, and there's promotional codes that you can get for those things. You can certainly reach out to me for that as well. And I would also like to say, too, I know that 2 days sometimes can seem like a big investment and hard to get away, but if you just look around you, whoever is in proximity to you, those are the people that you're investing in and influencing with your time to come to these events. And even if you can only make it for 1 day, I promise it will absolutely be worth it.
Yeah. I do love the way it's broken into 2 days. And the reason that I love that is you are getting so much information. There's a lot to learn. And so just sort of digesting that in those parts has really been helpful for me. I think if it was all crammed into 1 day, it would almost be overwhelming. Definitely. I feel like I'm able to kind of soak it in more so because the way they break it down. And I'm sure there's a ton of thought and intention behind that. So they do a great job of that. So one of my favorite questions that I get to ask is how you have personally seen God moving or working in your ministry or in your event. And so do you have any stories that stand out to you that just really you saw God on the move?
Well, I do know, like I was just saying earlier, just some of the basic tangible things in our everyday life. Sometimes it doesn't have to be some huge, impactful
Sure.
story.
Yeah.
So the story that I just told you, definitely. And then also just the way that people are interacting with their families and communities, just the personal stories that I've heard from people. And even one of my favorite stories, which was from several years ago, you can look up on YouTube, it's the water pump story. It's something that GLS calls their grander vision section of the conference, and it's just regular everyday people like you and I who did something extraordinary with the information that they got. So if you get a chance, listen to stories like that, because I think right now more than ever, our communities, we need strong leaders, we need people to be being at their best, and this definitely is a helpful conference for that.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. I'm excited to go and Google that and watch that story for sure. So lastly, our online community wants to be praying for you specifically and for this event. So let us know how we can be praying for you. Also, if you have volunteer opportunities, we'd love to hear about those as well.
Great, thank you. Yes, we absolutely need prayer. There takes an enormous amount of volunteers to pull off an event like this, just not just getting people here, but once everybody's here, we want people to feel very welcomed, and this really is a high caliber event. You definitely will feel that, hopefully from the moment that you walk in. So we, of course, need lots of hands and help with that. And then as far as prayer, absolutely, of course, we care at Foothills very much about our community and the people around us, and we definitely want to make sure that we are getting everybody here who needs to be here and hear what is being presented, and also just so that all of us can get better, because as we get better, then the people around us, which is our community, and so we could use prayer for that the information hits home with people.
Yeah, so good. Well, thank you for being here in the lobby. It's so fun to hear more about this event that I already love, but I think every time I go, I just fall a little bit more in love with it. Thank you for your passion that shines through with your role, and just as we lead up to this event, it's exciting, and so we will be praying for you. Thanks for joining us here in the lobby.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.